I'm going to show you how to make this very easy to build, inexpensive, highly effective dipole antenna for 10 meters without an antenna analyzer, this time on K8MRD Radio Stuff. All right, at the heart of this build is this cutting board right here. This is affectionately known as the 88-cent cutting board from Walmart. It's literally 88 cents at Walmart. We're also going to need an SO239. You can pick these up fairly inexpensively on Amazon. You can usually get a few of them for, I don't know, $7-8, something like that. So call that a $2-3 part. You're going to need a step bit, a drill, and a drill bit. And I also have a tray with one little ring terminal with a really small hole, and then I'm using M3 by 8 and M3 by 12 screws and some nuts. And that's about it as far as the radiating element is concerned. We're using some leftover, this is 18 gauge speaker wire, I believe. Yes, 18 gauge. And that's kind of all we need. So I'm gonna use an app called Ham Ant Cal, just an antenna calculating tool. And I want to center this for 28.4 megahertz. We'll hit calculate. So that's about 8.3 feet per leg, or for the rest of the world, about 2.5 meters. So I'm going to cut probably 2.55 meters of this speaker wire, and we'll get to wiring it up. So I ended up cutting this to 2.6 meters. We're going to trim this down to tune it, and it's always a good practice to have more than less. And then we're just going to simply strip this apart so we get two even length wires, like such. Now we can set these aside for a minute. Next I want to mark out the cutting board, and I'm going to basically just kind of eyeball this. And what I'm going to do is make a couple holes, say like every ½ inch, here, 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 and that's going to be for strain relief for the wire. So the wire is going to go in and out and in, and then we're going to end up soldering and screwing it to the center post and the ground respectively. So maybe we can have that there and then go, I don't know, 1, 2, 3. So something like that. And then as far as the actual layout of this thing is concerned, I want to have a little bit going up to make a little hanger, because we're going to throw this in a tree. And then we go cut this out, and we'll drill a hole right there. The other thing I want to do is make a couple end insulators, if you will, and I'm just going to kind of continue what happened here. I'm just going to make something kind of like that. And then I can drill a couple holes there, and then another one there. Then just go ahead and continue that one. Good enough. Something like that. Let's go cut those out. They ain't perfect, but they're mine. Now we're going to drill the hole for the SO239. So I'm going to start by doing a pilot hole. I'm going to use this step bit. Kind of thinking around that 11/16 mark should be where we're going to stop. So I'm just going to gradually step it up. Except we've run into a problem. We're bottoming out the vise. So we'll just have to do it by hand. That's okay. That should be, look at that, perfect. Next I'm going to drill a couple holes for the screws to go in here. Next I'm going to drill out our strain relief holes and a hole so we can use it for hanging. And I'm also going to drill 4 holes, 3 more on this side and 1 on this side for our insulators. This little guy didn't turn out so big, but that's okay. Just like that. Next, we're going to feed one side of the dipole through our center insulator. And then we're going to crimp on the little ring terminal. Like such. And then from the other side, we're going to put our SO239 on and feed our longer screw through and attach thusly with a screw, maybe. And then we can feed any slack back through. Voila. Next we can take our other screw and feed it through and screw that down. Now we'll feed the other leg of the dipole through the strain relief. Want to give yourself some bit of slack here. And then we'll go ahead and strip off a little bit. And we're going to solder it into the center of our SO239. Terrible solder job, but that'll work. After it cools, we can go ahead and get rid of the slack here. We'll also check for continuity, make sure we didn't short anything. Don't hear anything, that's good. All right, we got a good electrical connection. Now we can go ahead and feed our wire into the insulators. We just kind of want them to go through the 3. Don't really want any excess hanging out. That's that. And finally, I'm just going to put a little zip tie through this hole, and we'll use that to tie a rope in. That is an almost finished dipole. So now all we have to do is tune the antenna. I've got it set up on my Shakespeare Wonder pole, and the great thing about a 10-meter antenna, it really only needs to be up, well, a half a wave to be really in the sweet spot for it to work, which is 2.5 meters or 8 feet or so. So it's not up very high, and I just got it staked out with some mason line. And the way I'm going to tune it, I'm not going to use an antenna analyzer. I did bring one with me just so we can kind of check the final results. We know we cut it too long. So all I'm going to do is key up on CW. You can also do it on AM or FM, something that's going to put out a carrier. You can whistle into it, and you just want to look at your SWR meter. And we're just going to keep trimming in small increments, probably about a ½ inch or so at a time. And we're going to keep doing that until we get to that resonant point where we want to be, around 28.4, which is right in the middle of the technician portion of where we can use single sideband. Well, first time turning it on, we're already hearing signals, so that's a good thing. I'm going to go ahead and tune off frequency a little bit. Let's put it into CW. And let's key up. We're just going to look at the SWR. Geez, we're pretty darn good already. Let's go ahead and tune down a little bit. We should get a little bit better SWR if we go lower. And we do. That's to be expected because it is longer. So if we go towards the bottom here, we're pretty much 1 to 1. So I'm going to cut off about a ½ inch on each side, and we'll see what happens. And here's what I trimmed off each side. So let's check our SWR again. Good. Now we should be getting higher. Let's go to about 100 here. Oh, that's good. Let's go to 200. Still creeping up a little bit. Let's go to 300. Still about 2 to 1. 400 is our target. Still about 1.2 to 1 or so. So I'm going to cut another ½ inch off and we'll take another reading. All right, let's see where we're at now. Hearing quite a few CW signals. All right, that's good. Let's go up to about 3, see where we're at. Hear all those signals? It's great. Woo, we're getting good. Let's go up to 4. Still about 2, so I'm gonna go up to 5, which is the top, and see where we're at. Still pretty good. All right, probably make one more cut. All right, 3rd time's a charm. I'm feeling good about this. Let's go down towards the bottom here. No reaction for the SWR meter. Go 100 kilohertz up. Nothing there. That's a good thing. Let's go to 200. Nothing there. 300. No SWR there. 400. Oh, just a touch. And 500. 497 is really the top of where you want to transmit if you're a technician. Look at that. 1. Ha! Not being one to leave well enough alone, I went ahead and trimmed it a couple more times. Note, I also changed out my coax. I was getting some funky readings. I think one of the connectors has a short in it, and I'm gonna have to repair that. But let's take a look at what we have now. So we're at the bottom of the band. Nothing. Let's go up 100 kilohertz or so. Nothing. Nothing is a good thing. No SWR showing there. Nothing showing there. 28,400, which is our target frequency. No SWR showing there. And at the top of where we can operate if you're a technician, right around here, no SWR showing there. That's fantastic. We just made an antenna for 10 meters for the technician portion of the band, so you guys can get on digital, you can get on sideband. It's resonant across the entire 500 kilohertz spectrum. That's amazing. Like, no SWRs. That's fantastic. Cost of this ridiculously cheap, probably $2-3 for the SO239, 88 cents for the cutting board. Most people probably have speaker wire lying around and maybe some bits and bobs, the screws and the connectors and things. Definitely under $10, I would say you could make this antenna for. No antenna analyzer needed. So if you're a technician, you're like, I don't have all this fancy equipment. Well, we just proved you don't need it. You can still make an antenna, you can make it resonant, and you can get on sideband, you can get on digital, you can do whatever the heck you want with this. That's awesome. So guys, if you find this kind of stuff useful, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter at K8MRD. You can support me at patreon.com/K8MRD Radio Stuff. And we will see you again on another episode of K8MRD Radio Stuff. 73, guys.